It's time for Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. Let's head to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Calling the action tonight alongside Rod Higley, here's NCW Life Channel Sports Director Eric Grandstrom.
Good afternoon, lacrosse fans, and welcome here to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Grandstrom as we get ready for lacrosse this afternoon at Wenatchee's school. And I'm telling you what, we got a gorgeous day here, Rod, for Wenatchee hosting Hermiston.
Oh, it's quite a surprise the way it woke up this morning with rain and snow, and now it's about 50 degrees and sunny. Can't beat it.
Well, let's talk about Wenatchee off to a 1-1 start so far. We're going to talk to Brandon Parker a little bit. I talked to him before we started the broadcast today. He said that 10-2, a little not quite indicative of how that game went on Saturday after a win here on Friday night.
Yeah, you know, it was closer than that in the first half. It was 4-2 at halftime. Wenatchee had a lot of shots, but Juanita had a lot of assists, and so they had 10 goals, and the second half they just kind of took away with it. And I think Wenatchee was a little bit tired. I think that Friday night maybe they weren't quite ready for the speed of Juanita. But yeah, 10-2, took it on the chin. They played okay at times, but not their best performance for sure.
So Hermiston joins the league this year, of course, out of northern or northeast Oregon. What do we know about them, if anything?
Not much. You know, they played these teams as youth. They look big. I think they've got 10 seniors on the team or something like that. You know, so first time in the league, they played Richland and lost by 10 or 12 goals. They beat Chiawana. So really, that doesn't tell you anything. I mean, we think Richland's good and we think Chiawana's not so good. So probably somewhere in the middle, you know. So I think Wenatchee better not take them lightly. They should win this game, though, hopefully.
Well, let's talk about what you want to accomplish at this point of the year. It's still kind of getting your feet wet into the season, kind of figuring out who's going to step up. Greg Holdy, of course, last Friday was fantastic.
Yeah, he was good both games. Yeah, you know, really they are trying to feel out the team right now. And I think a couple of guys are a little dinged still, you know, so it's going to take a while to get their feet under them. I do think, though, that like guys like Connor Tilley and Greg Holdy, Roby, the seniors are going to come forward. Mason Dahlbeck's played great ball this year, and he's been good at both sides, you know, defense and offense. And he's had a couple of assists too. So I thought he's been playing really well.
Well, and that's important too. It's guys that come up that aren't necessarily on the stat sheet necessarily that make a big difference in games.
Yeah, no question. Those defenders, you can't forget about them because that's where it all starts. And Kyle Robertson in goal too. So yeah, it takes a full team, and that's what they're trying to kind of work on right now is get that mentality of, hey, it's not one guy out there or two guys, it's the whole unit that has to work together.
Well, we're going to talk to Brandon Parker about how he feels his unit is progressing as they're 2 games in, ready for number 3 today. It's Hermiston and Wenatchee Valley Thunder. Coming up next, we'll talk with head coach Brandon Parker on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl on what's turned out to be a nice day here for lacrosse. Talking now with Brandon Parker. Our interview with the head coach is brought to you by Heritage Memorial Chapel, a chapel here locally owned by a friend we trust. Well, Coach, let's talk about last Saturday. I didn't get a chance to talk to you afterwards. You guys pick up a victory in your home opener. How'd you feel about that game?
Oh, I felt great. We came out strong. It was a first game, obviously, so there's a lot of things to work on and things that we talked about and applied in practice. But overall, it was very dominating, and we put up a lot of points, and I was proud of it. It was a good showing.
Greg Holdy, 6 goals in 1 game. To me, that was huge. But Rob was telling me, well, you know, that happens.
It actually rarely happens, but it does happen. But of course, yeah, Gray put up a fantastic game. You know, he's worked really hard on the off season. He's been doing workouts down with Blaine Davidson at Actualized Sports. He's been working at the wall down at Walla Walla Point Park. All year long he's been working, and he's actually one of the guys that really applies what you teach him, and he's out there practicing all the time. So well-earned 6-goal game, and I think you're going to see more of those.
Well, the next day you don't have a chance to enjoy that victory much. You head to Kirkland and play a very tough Juanita squad. You come up short 10-2, but a little closer than the score indicates.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that one up. Yeah, so what I was telling Eric earlier, basically we should have scored more goals. We put up a lot more shots. We missed the cage. Their goalie was good, so the score didn't indicate it, but they are one of the best teams in the state of Washington. And so, you know, we had just played that game the night before. We traveled to Seattle. Luck wasn't in our favor. They got the momentum, and that's how it turned out. But we did play a good game all the way till the end, and we'll get them again next time.
Something we talked about last year was early starts and getting off to a better start, especially early in the season last year. Now you got Hermiston in town. What do you know about them? And I'm sure the tack today is get an early start.
Yeah, absolutely. What I know about them is very little besides their record. So I've seen that on paper. I'm seeing them now, and they look like they're a good squad. They've got some good ball handlers, and there's some big guys. So my plan is we're going with the top guys. We're bringing everything we've got, and we're going to try to create that momentum and get that lead, control and possess the ball, and dictate how this game's going to go. So whoever it is on the other side of the field, it really doesn't matter today. Our plan is our side of the field is going to manage this whole game and run and dictate. So, but we'll see. I'll know more by halftime, I'll tell you that.
We'll have some fun, keep everybody safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again for being here. Appreciate it.
There you go. There's the head coach, Brandon Parker. We'll come back with the lineups and the face-off. Coming up next, it's Wenatchee Valley and Hermiston. On your way next, it's lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be right back. And welcome back to a sun-splashed Lee Bofto Field here at the Apple Bowl. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Granstrom as we get ready for the face-off here between the Hermiston Bulldogs and the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. And the Wenatchee Valley, without the services today of Jake Reiner, he is participating in a mock trial competition along with Lucas Job. So both of those players are out. So getting the face-off duties will be Jake Strom, who, Rod, last week did a fine job for Wenatchee Valley.
He did, but he left the Juanita game with a sore knee, so we'll see how he holds up here today. I don't know who will be backing him up. Maybe Easton.
Yeah, we'll see about that as we are just about ready to go. The officials today, Steve Junker and Steve Corley. And Steve Corley says, I guess, illegal motion there, or somebody moved for Wenatchee Valley. Strom moved before the whistle. And so Wenatchee Valley will be back on defense. Hermiston moving from left to right as we look at it here with the black jerseys, the purple numbers, the white trim, the purple and gray helmets. Wenatchee Valley with the gray tops trimmed in black as we are underway here for first quarter action of Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Appreciate you joining us here this afternoon. And gorgeous day. What looked like a nasty one here this morning, despite the wind right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, and the looks of it this morning, I thought it was going to rain all day long.
My thermometer, of course, is Chamber of Commerce thermometer up here in the press box. It's been right in the sunshine without the wind blowing on it. So it says 77.
Sounds good.
Not nearly that warm. Our cameraman will attest here as Hermiston getting the early work here. That's Hunter Dodson with the ball. Cradled in his stick. He'll flip it up to Luke Walchley, that is. That ball goes towards the midfield, and right there is Higley. As Ben will take it down the right side behind the goal for Wenatchee Valley. He'll bring it back out top to Connor Tilley. Connor will bring it even further out to Dahlbeck, as Mason will bring it in over to Roby Jorgensen. That's your lineup here for Wenatchee Valley. Jake Strom staying in this offensive set, at least for now. Gray Coldy, who had 6 goals last Friday in that victory here at home, with the ball momentarily. Now Dahlbeck again as Wenatchee Valley looks to see what kind of defense that Hermiston will run on them here. Here comes
That's a goal.
Opportunity and a goal right in front. Gray Coldy starts the game off with 10:20 left here in the first quarter. 1-0 Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, Gray's off to just a great start this year, and he one-on-one with a goalie like that, he had all kinds of options, and the goalie didn't stand a chance.
So the goal at the 10:20 mark here of the first quarter. First one here for Gray Coldy, who leads Wenatchee Valley offensively so far this season with 7 goals on the season.
Yeah, and he had one against Juanita, so I think that's 8 total. I think the league ones, it counts as 7, but 8 total for the year.
Well, he had 6 in the league game and then 1 at Juanita, so that would be 7 total, right?
And 1 just now.
Oh, 1 just now, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that one. Yeah, 8 total on the season for Gray Coldy. And Jake Strom wins the faceoff here, quickly gets it up into the netting of Higley. They'll work it around the outside. As you hear the wind in our microphones here, we'll try to turn that down just a little bit. Roby Jorgensen now with it as they'll bring Jake Strom out, and in will come Jackson Bowles. Jackson will collect it outside the 30-yard line here, work it down left side to Coldy. Coldy back behind to Tilley. Tilley will come back over to the left side of the goal crease and flip it back out top to Jorgensen, and he'll give it up to Dahlbeck. Mason Dahlbeck backing away with that ball cradled in his webbing of his stick. Will work right and then shoot and score! Mason Dahlbeck with a goal, and Wenatchee Valley making it look pretty easy here so far against Hermiston.
It's looking pretty good. Mason ran off the screen like that, and there was nobody coming up on him, so he was able to get his hands free and get a shot off and bounce it right past the goalie. They better watch out today. The goalie, they've got two that play, but you start peppering them with shots like that, they get frustrated in a hurry.
So 2-0 already here in our first quarter action between Wenatchee Valley and Hermiston. Talking with Brandon Parker, he says, I asked him, what do you know about this team? He says, really nothing much at all other than watching them warm up here before the game. He said they look like they handle the ball well.
They've got a good youth program. I think they have 3 teams at the 3-4 level. So it's an up-and-coming program for sure. And playing them as youth teams, they were always real physical. That was I remember about Hermiston.
Tyson Salinas will pick up the loose ball over on the far sideline, so he'll get it into the box here, and they'll set up the offense and bring a substitution in offensively as Hunter Dodson comes off the bench. It's still in the webbing there of Salinas. He'll flip it back out top to Ian Bush as Hermiston looks to work an offensive set here against what was a very tough defense for Wenatchee Valley last week. This ball turned over right to the right of the crease, and coming up with it for Wenatchee is Sage Kreider. He'll flip it out near midfield, and there is Strom. He'll get it up to Higley. Ben works it down the right side. Ben have a goal last week against Juanita?
Yeah, he had 1 goal.
Okay.
Gray and Ben had the only 2 goals in that game for Wenatchee.
Tilley back outside to Dahlbeck. Mason scored just moments ago. Fumbled it there for a second, but collects it back. Now back into the webbing of Roby Jorgensen. Then to Strom, over to Higley. Higley looking for Dahlbeck inside. Finds him. Mason turns, spins, left-handed shot just wide of the net, and it will be still Wenatchee Valley's ball as the nearest the end line there for Wenatchee Valley was Gray Coldy.
He had a couple guys on him that time.
Now a little better defense there out front, and here's a flip in front for Tilley. The ball went high off of his stick. It's muscled away there by Coldy. Good job by Gray to come in and help out on that loose ball. And that's a stat you look at a lot is the ground balls, right?
Yeah, kids used to always say ground balls win games. You have to have the ball, and so if you're leaving it on the ground, somebody else is picking it up, you don't have possession.
Coldy with a shot there. His stick was hampered, though, by the defense as he went to rifle it. So Wenatchee Valley will maintain possession as they consider that a shot. Wenatchee Valley nearest the ball where it went out of bounds, so Wenatchee Valley maintains possession as they'll work it around back behind the goal crease as Higley has it now. He'll work to his right, come out left of the goal crease, and then flip it back out top to Roby Jorgensen. Jorgensen wants to maybe try the attack here. Left-handed shot, and it's just off the mark. Pretty good job there defensively by their goalie as Bo Blake was able to deflect that shot. We've seen Jorgensen make a lot of those from the left hand.
Yeah, he shoots both left and right. He's got a strong shot. I'd like to see him, play a little off ball, get some passes back to him, get some better shots,
Tilley with another shot, and this one goes wide to the right to the mouth of the goal, and we'll skip out of bounds. So Gray Coldy will collect it back there, number 3 for Wenatchee Valley, as he'll come out of the sunshine in front of the net. Double team comes, lost the ball. He flicked it back. It's still loose out in front. Who's going to come up with it?
Ben's
Higley does. Ben shoots and scores. Nice job by Ben Higley to come up with a loose ball out front and quickly take advantage for the goal for Wenatchee Valley.
Good things happen when you're, scrambling for those balls down in front of the net. There's a lot of bodies out there, and somebody comes up with it. It's good just to put it back in. So nice goal by Ben.
Goal comes with 6:54 left here in the first quarter of play. Puts Wenatchee Valley up 3-0 here over Hermiston.
You've got Sammy Arredondo taking the face-off this time, it looks like.
So we wondered who would do that without the services of Jake Reiner here today, and it is Arredondo.
You've got Garrison Coley on the wing on the other side, too.
So a little bit of a mix-up of the lineup here for Coach Brandon Parker, up 3-0. He can kind of afford to play with things a little bit here, as Wenatchee Valley will get the possession off of the face-off, as it is Easton Hudson who came up with it. They'll get it down to Higley and then back behind the goal crease to Tilley. Connor will work it to his right, come back out. As you see a transition out front, Dahlbeck comes off the bench here as a substitute for Wenatchee Valley. Has the ball here near the 30-yard line. Stepped inside the box, then comes out and directing traffic as he works over to his right to the right hash mark. Will go around the defense, shoot, and it's just off the side of the goal and will head out of bounds, and it'll be out to Wenatchee Valley. I like to see that where you get a guy come off the bench and immediately take a shot.
Yeah, they like to take a lot of shots. Just it doesn't take much to get a crease to get a shot off.
Higley will bring it back outside to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck looking to shoot. He does, and a nice stop there by the goalie. Again, for Hermiston, Bo Blake, a senior, comes up with a big stop.
Well, he's going to get a lot of action today, it looks like, so far.
Yeah, the shots on goal so far heavily in Wenatchee Valley's favor as Hermiston fumbles it up the near sideline. Good defense by Wenatchee Valley. Give credit to Sage Kreider there. He was the one who bumped the ball carrier, but Hermiston gets it back here as Luke Walshley will have the ball over on the far side wearing number 5 on his chest. Walshley, the leading scorer for Hermiston so far in the season with 4 goals so far in the early going, 3 games in.
Looks from their stats, they've got quite a few guys that can put the ball in the net, but they're not going to get too many opportunities with the defense playing like this.
Cole Hansen, nice job of picking that ball off. He'll quickly get it up to midfield for Wenatchee Valley to Garrison Coley. Coley will give it up over far side to Higley, comes back outside to Dahlbeck, and then checking in is Roby Jorgensen. Jorgensen will set up the offense, if you will, here for Wenatchee Valley. Left side to Tilley as we are now under 5 minutes to go. Tilley, they left him alone for a minute. Now they'll flip it outside. Here's Higley with a shot, a little bit wide left, and Wenatchee Valley will maintain possession. I thought maybe Tilley had a crease there.
Yeah, usually he takes those, doesn't he? He doesn't need much room. He comes around that angle and takes it.
So Tilley will have the ball on the inbounds, if you will, back behind the goal crease. He'll bring it back out with his feet and then pass it off to Jorgensen. Roby looking right, and then he'll shoot and score. 12 yards out. Roby Jorgensen gets his first goal of the game. He says, hey, I want a piece of this too. It's 4-0 Wenatchee Valley.
I think there's a lot of guys that are going to want a piece of this, it looks like so far. Wenatchee has no reason to be in a hurry. They've got plenty of time to work the ball around and work on things today. 4-0 early in this game.
4:34, the time of the goal, and we're going to get a timeout taken, I believe, by Hermiston here. So we'll take a break as well. 30-second break on our broadcast as we are in the first quarter, and Wenatchee Valley in charge right now, leading Hermiston 4-0. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse on the NCW Live channel. We'll be right back. Broadcast today brought to you in part by Wenatchee Valley YMCA for youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. It's the YMCA. Also by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries, and Heritage Memorial Chapel, a funeral home with a heritage owned by a trusted friend. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Grandstrom, and Wenatchee Valley out to the big lead here early by a score of 4-0. But we have seen landslides happen where suddenly it becomes a tie game before you can even blink.
Definitely, and one thing it's nice to see is coach is getting a lot of guys in the game already in the first quarter. So I think that'll be good for Wenatchee to get these guys some experience.
So is that Strom out there again on the face-off?
Strom, and then you've got Alan Butcher here on the wing.
Okay.
And then Mason on the other side.
Dahlbeck on the other side, over by the 48-yard line where they line up here for this face-off. And the whistle blows, and who's going to get it? Ball still loose. And sticks flying. Strom comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley. Nice job.
Oh, they're hacking at his knee. That's not very good.
Goodness. Out to Dahlbeck. Roby Jorgensen comes in to the lineup here as Dahlbeck goes in and then backs it out. And then we'll go wing on the right to Higley. Then to Connor Tilley back behind. Connor will work off of a little faint screen there by Coldy. And outside it comes again to Jorgensen, center of the field. Over to Dahlbeck on the far side. Under 4 minutes to go left here in this first quarter. And right there, no problem at all for Greg Coley on a nice feed from Mason Dahlbeck, and he gets the goal, his second of the game.
That's a good assist by Mason and another nice goal by Greg Coley.
So Greg Coley had 6 here a week ago yesterday. Already with 2 here in this one as Wenatchee Valley leads it 5-0 with 3:50 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's nice to see that where Mason drove the ball, draw the defender, and then kick it off to the open guy.
Wenatchee Valley off to a 1-1 start on the season after the opening victory against Southridge. Went to Juanita. Actually, Kirkland played against Juanita last Saturday and fell by a score of 10-2. Hermiston comes in with a 1-2 mark. They lost their first two to Richland and Westview and then came back with a win against Chiawana last week. Hermiston wins the face-off here as the ball is in the stick of Ian Bush. Bush with the cradle and attempts to challenge the defense. Will flip it off to his teammate Hunter Dodson, who just checked in. Now back behind the net. They're trying to work it out in front, and a shot taken, but a nice job defensively there. I believe that was Jax Tucker who was pestering the ball handler.
Yeah. That was kind of, the defense didn't look so good on that one, but Jax did a nice job stopping the ball.
So it's Luke Walshley, their lead scorer, with the ball behind the net. And nice job by Cole Hansen, comes around and knocks the ball away right into the webbing of the goalie, Kyle Robertson. Robertson gets it out far side as it is Jax Tucker with it. Lost the handle for a minute and having a little bit of a hard time hanging on to it. He'll get it across midfield. We were talking before the game about the timing here and how long they have to get the ball. So it's 4 seconds out of the goal crease.
That was over and back right there. Yeah, so they've got 4 seconds for the goalie to clear it from the crease and 30 seconds to get it up into the box. But it's 20 seconds to get across the 50-yard line if you can follow all that. But so the referee starts his clock when the ball changes possession and gets 30 seconds. But that was over and back. Jax ran it across and then stepped back across.
Okay, so just like basketball, can't do that.
No.
Let's see where the ball is over on the far side. Looks like Tilly's got it.
Well, that surprises me that he has the ball because I thought they called over and back on that.
So Tilly with the ball, the whistle blows, and it is Wenatchee Valley possession as Tilly will run it all the way around the back of the goal crease here with 2:38 to go in this first quarter. Wenatchee Valley on top 5-0. Appreciate you joining us here today on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in the Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. Also streaming live. We contacted the Hermiston fans, told them that they could watch this on the stream today on our website at ncwlife.com. I understand that Coach Brandon Parker's got a bunch of folks down in California watching.
Yeah, and some of the players' grandparents are watching in Iowa and different places around the country. It's nice to have that option.
Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life channel. Here comes Tilly right in front and point-blank range. Ball went a little bit wide left on the shots, but good job by the defense that time by Hermiston to keep a body on it.
Yeah, and you have to keep a body on those attack guys. All of these guys.
Dahlbeck with the ball now out front inside the 35-yard line. He'll go and showing a flash of speed here with a shot. Tried to ricochet it in off the turf, but it is blocked nicely by their goalie. And now a feed towards midfield. The ball tapped around, and then Higley's going to come up with it for Wenatchee Valley. Transition opportunity for the Thunder here. Tilly will shoot, and it trickles just to the right side of the goal crease. And we've got bodies in collision happening, and the whistle sounds. And I believe this ball will go over to Hermiston. I'm going to say Wenatchee Valley.
Loose ball push on Wenatchee.
Little bump there back behind the goal crease.
Anytime a guy goes down these days, if a guy is on him, they tend to call the push from behind anyway.
Tyler Arnold with a long pass. It went over everyone's head, but chasing it down will be Ian Bush back behind the goal here as he's picked up defensively by Jax Tucker. He'll try to come around and shoot from there, but he's collided into by two bodies, and that ball will go out of bounds over the end line. They're going to say Hermiston closest, and so it'll be the Bulldogs' ball.
That was a nice play by Cole Hansen on that defense.
Luke Walshley has the ball in his cradle right now, working against the defense, kind of poking at him back there is Sage Kreider. And he'll pass it off, and here's a shot close, but wide to the left on the shot attempt by Caden Smith, sophomore attacker for Hermiston. And very few shots so far for the Bulldogs. That one just wide left.
That was a better shot that they took that time, too.
Colby Murray into the game now with the ball. He'll pass it off, and that's not a very good pass. And Cole Hansen right there, and he'll just give it up over to his goalie, Kyle Robertson. Another turnover for Hermiston. Off to Dahlbeck at midfield. Mason nearly fell down, but kept his footing. Will feed it up quickly to Higley. I thought maybe they'd attack at the goal here. They looked like they had numbers in that transition. Coldy with it now back behind the goal crease. picked up by one of the stouter of the physically looking Hermiston Bulldogs, and right in front. And this time, though, a nice job by the goalie, Bo Blake, to stop that shot.
He's getting some stops now. He's kind of warming up after the first few shots at him. He was letting them all by.
Yeah, felt a little shell shock there to start with, and now this ball is going to be turned over, but that is the horn to sound the end of our first quarter of play. And what a first quarter here for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, is they get 5 goals, 2 of which from Gray Coldy, and they lead at 5-0 as we'll take a 60-second break and come back, get you ready for second quarter action here in the Apple Bowl. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining us on a sun-splashed afternoon here in the Wenatchee Valley, and spring has sprung. We had, snow this morning and rain, and then sunshine here this afternoon. As we look over across the way, we see the Wenatchee Valley Rams football team practicing here at Triangle Park, and we had some baseball earlier. Still got that going on behind us at Rec Park. So
there's a track meet across the street,
yes,
and a lacrosse tournament down at Walla Walla.
That's right, the youth lacrosse tournament happening at Walla Walla Point Park today and tomorrow. So if you're watching this on TV here locally and you think, man, that looks pretty fun, you got plenty of more opportunities to watch some lacrosse down at Walla Walla Point Park this weekend. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Grandstern. Well, Rod, one of the keys for Brandon Parker coming into this was to get a better start, and 5-0 and a lot of goal chances in that first quarter early on. I think Coach has got to be pretty happy here.
Well, I think he's very happy, yeah, and it's nice to see Wenatchee getting everybody in the game too. And I think that, in this type of game, like you said, anything can happen with these Hermiston guys. If they start firing away and getting hot, they could change their whole way they're playing right now. Right now they look a little beat, but the goalie's starting to step up, and they had some better looks on offense. I wouldn't be surprised if they come up with a goal or two here in this next quarter.
So here we go for the second quarter of play. As both teams come out, it will be face-off opportunity, it looks again for Jake Strom here for Wenatchee Valley. Meanwhile, they'll send Jake Palmer was out there for Hermiston. Still
looks like 9.
So that's Ian Bush. By the way, the man, Jake Palmer, who's at number 20 on your roster there, he's wearing number 11 today because he forgot his uniform.
Oh, okay.
So forgot to give you that one. And then Adrian Solis, who's down on the bottom there, is number 24.
Oh, okay. She's got some new players. Jack Myers is on the field. You got Sam Williams at attack right now. So I think almost everybody on the Wenatchee roster has been in the game so far, except for maybe.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. Colin Wheeler, I think, hasn't seen some action yet, but I bet he gets in before too long.
Well, we'll talk about a freshman that's also been brought up to maybe get some playing time today if he gets in. We'll tell you more about that coming up. Right now, the face-off to start our second quarter underway. Jake Strom flips the ball ahead, still trying to get after it, swats down at it. The ball still loose inside the 35-yard line, and Hermiston trying to block a body here, and then the whistle's going to come, and they're going to say that's Hermiston ball. Or is it Wenatchee Valley ball?
No, it's Hermiston's ball.
Okay. Far side with it is Ian Bush. Bush at the 30-yard line will go in and shoot, and a nice stop by Kyle Robertson. Kyle's been up to the task so far. He'll flip it ahead near midfield to Roby Jorgensen. Jorgensen, we don't see him much play defense, but was out there in that defensive set here for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, you see a lot of switches from Coach Parker, but heck, they can hang with these guys. So
5-0 the score right now. Wenatchee Valley on top. Mason Dahlbeck with the ball outside, gets by the defense, shoots, and a bounce shot caroms off of the goalie, and that's another stop for Hermiston. So if there's anything positive right now, everything that's been going his way the last 5-6 minutes have been stonewalled.
Nice little hit there by Roby. I think he's called on it, but
Roby Jorgensen, I think, is going to spend some time in the penalty box here. So for those that are still new to the sport, such as myself, it's similar to ice hockey, where if you make a personal foul, you can spend some time in the penalty box here. And so it will be non-releasable. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, okay. It was a cross-check. So you've got to have your hands together on that stick, and he had his hands apart, and it was a bit high. Okay. So you're getting up into the neck head area. It can really be dangerous.
Yeah, so about player safety. safety. So
yeah, you really need to get them in the chest and use your hands, not the stick.
Okay, well, that's the guilty party right there, Roby Jorgensen. So he's non-releasable penalty. I didn't see if it was 1 or 2 minutes.
I think it was a 1 minute non-releasable, but
non-releasable. That means if the opposing team scores, typically speaking, just like as in ice hockey, if the opposing team scores while you've got a penalty, somebody serving time in the box, that releases that person out of the box. But if it's non-releasable, that means they got to stay in there for that full time frame, no matter how many points your team scores. So Hermiston, a man up here against Wenatchee Valley, working the offense around outside, and this pass a little bit too wide, and a turnover, unforced error here for Hermiston on a golden opportunity.
Yeah, they really need to capitalize on this man down situation, or man up.
So Cole Hansen will bring it in, gets it into Kyle Robertson. Robertson goes past midfield. The ball caroms off the surface here. And one of the long sticks here for Hermiston tried to gather it up, but no, can't get it. Tilly comes up with it for Wenatchee. So a man down here, Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with man down offense. Or man, yeah.
So Tilly works it all the way down around in the corner. He brings it back outside to Jackson Bowles. Bowles cuts through the defense, got an opportunity, shoots, and bounces just a little bit wide to the left. It will go off the end line. Wenatchee Valley closest to, so the Thunder will maintain possession as Greg Coldy will flip it over to Connor Tilly with 9:40 to go here in this second quarter of play. And the time winding down here on the penalty on Roby Jorgensen. Tilly with it now here near sideline at the 20.
Must be 2 minutes because we've gone past one already.
Okay, so a 2-minute penalty on Roby Jorgensen, non-releasable. Now the pass out in front. Golden opportunity for Bowles, and his shot is wide to the left again. But Wenatchee Valley there along the end line. Good positioning for the Thunder here. Got another whistle. It's just action underway. Play on, if you will.
It's Sam Williams with the ball.
And Sam will bring it here near side. Defense comes on him, so he'll circle back around behind the goal crease. And what's the penalty? The official says, I'm not sure what the whistle was, but it's against Wenatchee Valley, so it goes over to Hermiston.
I don't know if he ran through the crease or not, but that may have been the call.
Ball was loose for a moment, and the penalty now released for Wenatchee Valley. But right in front was Luke Walshley looking for his team leading another goal, but just wide to the right. And Hermiston maintains possession as Walshley has it out front. He'll try to pass it to a teammate on the doorstep, but again, Wenatchee Valley, good job defensively as Easton Hudson comes up it for the Thunder. Lost the handle for a moment. Now back there trying to scoop it up as Quinn Rounds for Wenatchee Valley. Ball still loose, body on the turf, and they finally get it and flip it up near midfield, and that's where Connor Tilly will come up with the ball. Nice job of collecting that one. Feeds it up to Greg Coldy. Coldy in the box here for Wenatchee Valley, so now they can get bodies down there and start the offensive set.
That wasn't very pretty. There was a lot of sticks without balls in them running around.
Sam Williams with it now in the corner. He'll give it back up to Coldy. Coldy outside, it goes to Tilly on the left side, far side of the field here in the Apple Bowl. Tilly gets past the defense. Nice job with the goal right out in front. Connor Tilly scoring here for Wenatchee.
Yeah, Connor, I wouldn't be surprised if once he gets going with these goals, he just starts reeling them off. He's got a nose for that goal.
Gives Wenatchee Valley a 6-0 lead. That comes with 7:51 to go here in the first half. Connor's first goal of the day here as Wenatchee's now on top, 6-0. Nice job evading the defense and just getting past the man that was on him and found the netting.
Yeah, he switched back to his strong hand and got a nice shot off. In close, it's tough. It's tough for those goalies to know where that ball is going to go.
That's Connor's third goal on the season here for Wenatchee Valley, according to my stat sheet here. As we'll go back out to the face-off. And doing the face-off for Wenatchee Valley, Sammy Arredondo getting a chance to do that without the services of Jake Reiner today. Ball still loose. Arredondo coming after it and couldn't pick up that loose ball. Hermiston does instead. Then the ball is loose and a shot and a goal. Give it to Caden Smith. Well, they came up with the loose ball, and Smith collected it over on the left side of the doorstep, says, I'll just try this, and he scores.
Yeah, you know, the unsettled, the ball's rolling around out there. The guy picked it up and just fired it in the net.
So the first score of the game here for Hermiston makes it a 6-1 contest with 7:36 to go here in the second quarter.
So you were talking about the freshman, number 15, that Josh Bouchong's out in the field right now. Is that who you were talking about earlier?
That's who I was talking about. Talking with Coach Brandon Parker before the game, he said that Bouchong, he moved him up from the JV squad up to play some varsity today. He said that he deserves it. He's a big kid, working hard, and is really good and probably deserves a little more time on the varsity, but he also has his grandparents in town.
Oh, great.
To watch him play. So,
well, that says a lot to the younger players, too, that if you do the right things in practice, you're going to get an opportunity with the varsity.
Yep, just keep playing hard. Wenatchee Valley on offense here as Garrison Coley with it on the far side as they'll wait for the substitution as Roby Jorgensen comes in. And he'll collect the ball out near the 40-yard line. Just over 7 minutes remaining in this first half of play. Wenatchee Valley on top, 6-1 over Hermiston. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. Jorgensen kind of watching what his other teammates are doing as far as movement is concerned. We'll flip it over to Coley. Coley down left side. They'll go back behind the net. And with it is Sam Williams. Williams comes near side to Tilley. Connor, who just scored moments ago, but then Hermiston with the quick answer off of the faceoff. Tilley now to the left of the goal crease. Got a man in front, going to turn and shoot, and the ball goes a little bit wide and will be Wenatchee Valley ball.
Yeah, that angle might be just a little tight.
Just a little bit, that angle just a little wider than the diameter of the ball, I think.
Yeah.
Jorgensen with it now. Look to maybe approach, but instead will pass it off to Coley. Garrison Coley gets it back to Roby Jorgensen. Jorgensen with a tap on the top of the helmet, sets the offense, comes left with it, and a shot, and a stop. Nice job again by Bo Blake, but it is Hermiston ball, but they flip it ahead towards midfield, and, well, they did have a teammate there. Caden Smith comes up with it, who has the lone goal for Hermiston here in the game so far. So Caden Smith, who's their second leading goal scorer on the team behind Luke Walshley.
He's a sophomore, too, so that says a lot for the future. They had a little penalty there. I didn't see what it was, but got a change of possession.
Must have been away from the ball. So it's Wenatchee Valley ball back the other way after the turnover whistled. Sammy Arredondo in there for Wenatchee Valley. Will flip it ahead to Coldy. Coldy back to Tilley behind the net. Tilley inside and fumbling the ball away. Oh, right on the doorstep was Garrison Coley.
Yeah.
And here comes Hermiston back the other way.
That's a nice feed.
Taylor Arnold will flip it ahead over left side to Caden Smith. Smith works against the defense of Cole Hansen, one of the best defenders on the team for Wenatchee Valley. And then we'll come out to Tyson Salinas. Salinas feeds inside to a man who just checked in the game. That deflected, but to a teammate, and so Hermiston maintains possession. Walshley with it behind the goal crease here with just over 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Walshley approaches, feeds in front, but it's a little bit too high. Ball loose on the floor, and it is Roby Jorgensen who comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley. They've got a 4-on-3 here. Roby Jorgensen gets it inside the box. Now hesitates. Now forces the issue down beside the goal crease to the right, comes back behind, and then they'll take it around the horn here as Tilley comes up with it to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck outside, and here's Greg Coldy, who's out in a different position out here way out top. Also a substitution for Wenatchee Valley. Jake Strom comes in on this set. Mason Dahlbeck with the ball cradled in his right hand as he'll turn and shoot, and right there between the legs with the stop is Bo Blake.
Wenatchee's getting a lot of shots, but the selection on these last couple, little deep.
Tyler Arnold will hustle it ahead as the long stick here for Hermiston. His pass, though, is high and goes out of bounds. A turnover for Hermiston. We should mention their coach is Jacob Arnold. He's got two of his sons playing on the team, both Ryan and Taylor. Jacob is assisted by Jeff Collins. That's the coaching staff here for the Hermiston Bulldogs. Greg Coldy with the ball here for Wenatchee Valley. Gets it in the box. Will go down low right side to Sam Williams. Sam will maintain the possession as he'll run it around behind the goal and then flipped it off to Bowles, but he fumbled it, then collects it back.
Jackson's been sick the first couple weeks of the season, so it's nice to see him healthy again and running around out there.
Jake Strom off to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck left side again over to Williams. Williams
nice
will feed
pass.
right in front, and a nice stop on the shot by Blake as it was right there for Coley. Now the ball loose, and Tilley comes up with a loose ball. Tilley will feed over to Williams, far side. Sam out top it comes to Dahlbeck, and Wenatchee Valley will reset the offense here. Now to Strom. Time 2:56 left in this first half. Wenatchee Valley leading it 6-1 here over the Hermiston Bulldogs. Now to Bowles. Bowles right side to Tilley. Tilley back behind to Coldy. Gray surveys the defense as they are kind of bracketed around the goal area. And now we're going to get a push.
Award. Yeah, so you can't raise that arm to against the defender like that.
So if you've got your stick in one hand and then you push off with the other hand or your free hand, that's
award.
Not able to do that. And so the ball goes over to Hermiston, and Luke Walshley quickly gets it down the field and then backs out once he takes a toe step inside that blue box. Hard to see here probably today with the sun on the surface here at the Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. But there's that blue box that they get inside the attack box here. And they'll flip it ahead, and here's a shot taken, but a little wide to the right by Hunter Dodson. It will be Hermiston ball, though. They'll maintain possession with just over 2 minutes to go here in this first half. Walshley with it behind the goal. He'll pass it across to Hunter Dodson. Dodson will come left with it. And then pass out to the waiting webbing of Caden Smith. And he'll give it up to Tyson Salinas. Salinas between the hash marks, picked up by Dahlbeck, will come left-handed and then try to pass it with a left hand. It skips, and let's see who they're going to give it to. It was a hustling play back there for Wenatchee by Jax Tucker. And they're going to award the ball to Wenatchee Valley. Nice job by Jax back there.
Yeah, he's a good defender, that's for sure.
He'll swing it on the outlet pass. Far side to Quinn Rounds. Rounds comes up between or over the midfield stripe. Gets it ahead to Sam Williams. Williams went to pass it, then lost the handle on it, but collects it back, gets it to Coldy. Gray looked towards Tilley, and now he'll bring it out himself. Turn, pivots, shot, and just off the mark. Tried to follow his shot, though, but right there was Blow Blake.
This guy's got some saves going.
Yeah, he does.
I haven't been adding them up, but he's got quite a few. It just turned the ball over again, looks like.
They did. Yep, outlet went out of bounds over there. And so not the crispest of passing here by Hermiston with 1:06 to go in the first half. Again, Wenatchee Valley on top 6-1 here over Hermiston. Well, I don't have number 80 on my roster.
That's
here.
Jack Myers.
Okay. So
Roby with a shot and a goal.
So Roby Jorgensen lights the lamp here, if there was one to light, for Wenatchee Valley. And he gets on the scoreboard for the second time in this one and gives his club a 7-1 lead here over Hermiston with 51 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, after those first 5 goals in the first quarter, you thought this game would probably be 10-0 by now. But it's kind of slowed down quite a bit for Wenatchee.
And some lineup changes for Coach Brandon Parker, too. So 7-1 lead for Wenatchee Valley, closing seconds here of this first half. And then after the faceoff, kicking it his way was Jake Strom. You can do that. Left side it goes to Tilley. Tilley back behind to Coldy. Gray will pass it here near side. It goes to Sam Williams. Williams back to Coldy. Wenatchee Valley looking for a last shot. Outside to Strom. Strom further out. It comes to Colin Wheeler. Wheeler with the approach.
Whoops.
Pushed down, lost the handle, and Hermiston comes up with it. Ian Bush comes up with the ball. He'll bring it across midfield. Chance here for the Bulldogs with 13, with 12, with 11. And he'll flip it ahead left side. The ball intercepted by Wenatchee Valley with 7 seconds left. Tried to go to midfield. Ball still loose on the ground. And picking up this ground ball will be who? And now a trip, and that's going to be the end of the first half. No penalties coming on either side. And that'll be it here for this first half of play with Wenatchee Valley leading it by a score of 7-1. It was 5-0 at the end of first. Wenatchee outscores Hermiston 2-1 here in the second. We'll get you a halftime recap and also get get some more thoughts about Wenatchee Valley lacrosse coming up as we'll take a 2-minute break here. We're through one half of play here at the Apple Bowl with Wenatchee Valley in charge of Hermiston 7-1. You're watching lacrosse today on the NCW Live channel. What turned out to be a gorgeous afternoon has been a good day so far here at the Apple Bowl for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder as they lead Hermiston by a score of 7-1 here at halftime along with Rod Higley. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Live channel. A reminder coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, more sports for you as Wenatchee Valley or the Wenatchee Wilds game against Vernon. This is game 2 of their playoff series. It'll be aired tonight at 7 o'clock here on the NCW Live channel. And then the game 3 will be coming up tomorrow at 7 o'clock as well. In the series, Wenatchee Valley has a chance to capture the series tonight after double overtime win last night at Vernon against the Vipers, and going for the series win tonight at home at 7:05. So good luck to the Wenatchee Wild in their second-round playoff game. Well, Rod, let's talk about this one here. Coach Brandon Parker wanted to get out early and get a good start. Unlike, I think you were more eyeballs on what happened last week in Kirkland against Juanita.
Yeah.
He's got to be real happy about the start to this one.
Definitely. And, you know, they've spread the ball around. A lot of guys have scored. 5 different guys have scored so far today, and everybody's played on the roster, you know. So I think Coach now is what they want to work on, you know, is the set offensive plays and get some more guys involved even still, you know, maybe get 6, 7, 8 guys scoring. So it's looking good.
One thing that he mentioned, I think you mentioned as well, in that game against Juanita last Saturday, it's not like they didn't have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of shots were going in.
Yeah, and I think one thing that Wenatchee could do better is look for more assist opportunities. You know, you can run through some of these teams, and I think Hermiston isn't really, you know, a good example of what it's going to take to win at a little higher level. So against the better teams, you really have to look for those dump passes where you can catch a guy that's cutting to the crease or something like that, where you can get some goals where the goalie can't just watch you and stare you down. So you got to look for that because it'd be easy just to start teeing off and firing at the goal today.
Well, looking at the schedule to come here for Wenatchee Valley, don't know about Chiawana. It doesn't look like they're the best team in the world.
No.
So it looks like next week in that game against Chiawana should be. You never assume anything, but
No.
you hope a win for Wenatchee Valley.
Chiawana, you know, is their first year last year. They're kind of a team that was divided off some of those Richland teams, and so you know they just as the more kids are playing, they have to expand. And Chiawana, they want to affiliate with the high schools, and so they had to start their own club. You know, so you know, Wenatchee is fortunate in some ways because all these kids are here in the valley, and there's only one team. You know. But Chiawana, they're still a couple years away, but their team's bigger this year than they were last year.
That is the matchup for next Saturday. We'll have that game here live on the NCW Live channel with a face-off at 1 o'clock here in the Apple Bowl. Then it's on the road to Southern California for a tournament down in Southern Cal. They'll be against Pacific Ridge, Mount Carmel, and Sarah on the road, and then still be on the road once they come back in the first week of April at Sela. Their next game here at home will be against Richland, and boy, we've got that one circled on the calendar on that Friday night on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, let's hope that's a lucky day.
Against Richland, and then we'll have another broadcast on the Saturday game against North Central in a non-league contest here in the Apple Bowl. So that's what's coming up. You can find out more about Wenatchee Valley's schedule and about Wenatchee Valley lacrosse. Big tournament happening in town. Did I see first through 8th grade or?
I think it's third through 8th grade. Yeah,
happening down at Walla Walla Point Park this weekend. So that goes through the day today and tomorrow as well if you want to check it out and enjoy some of this sun-splashed weather we have here on this spring Saturday as we get ready for the face-off here to start the second half. Looks like it's Jake Strom out there again for Wenatchee Valley, and he wins the face-off. So a nice job by Jake as Wenatchee Valley will be going from right to left as we look at it here. And we apologize to our cameraman up top. Michael came downstairs during the halftime break and said that sun glare on the surface here at the Apple Bowl is so strong it's hard to see. So hopefully you're able to see along at home wherever you might be watching us here today. And we appreciate you joining us on the television on Channel 12 on Local Channel, on 19 on Charter, also on our web stream at ncwlife.com. So it's Strom with it over on the far side beyond the hash mark. He'll give it up to Higley. Higley back down below. Will go to Williams. Sam Williams getting the start here in the second half. They'll feed inside close. Dahlbeck had the ball stripped away from him, and the goalie will come up with it here for Hermiston. Outlet pass fumbled around for a minute, and then whacking the man as he came across was Higley. Almost got that ball turned over. It's still loose on the ground. Ground ball. And coming up with it, Roby Jorgensen. Nice job by Roby. We didn't see his brother was out there warming up at halftime. They did stick with Kyle Robertson, looks like, in goal here for the second half. We thought maybe it'd be the younger Jorgensen that would get in.
You might see Jack in the fourth quarter here today.
Substitution here for Wenatchee on the fly. Garrison Coley comes in. As Dahlbeck collects it out top here, he'll bring it back to Jorgensen near side. He'll go down low with it to Tilley. Tilley looking back behind to Williams. Sam Williams over across to Higley as Wenatchee methodically working around the horn here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised you see more of this in the second half, where they're patient with the offense. Then you'll see some guys cutting. They'll get the defenders watching the ball, and then you'll see some movement like this.
I think I just heard the coaching staff bark from the sideline, so they start to move here as spinning out in front with the ball cradled, and then a shot taken, and then going down hard on the play after the fact for Wenatchee Valley was Garrison Coley. Looks like he's done the worst for the wear. Wenatchee Valley maintains possession. They were closest to the end line. Tilley with it back behind the goal crease here. Connor will bring it back outside. He'll come out to the man who just took the shot in Garrison Coley. Coley with the attack here, pushed by the defender, then trips and falls, but still maintain possession. Nice job there of cradling that ball in his stick, and then back behind it goes to Tilley. Connor looking for a cutter. He'll find Dahlbeck. He fumbled it, but then picks it back up and then knocked down from behind. Ball still loose, still trying to get after it. And who's going to collect it over there? Tilley had it for a second, then lost it again. It's going to trickle out of bounds, and it will be Hermiston ball. So not something Coach Brandon Parker wants to see.
You never want to see a turnover, and you want to see your players make good, clean passes and take care of the ball.
Well, the winds we had whipping in the first half seem to have settled down just a little bit here in the second half.
The thermometer's up to 91, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It's black. See, it's absorbing that sunshine right now. Turnover for Hermiston, and Higley now with it for Wenatchee Valleys. He'll go down inside the box, quickly down below, and then pass it back out top to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck will circle it back even further outside to Jorgensen. Roby looking his way, but then flips it across over far side for Williams. Sam will go down to Tilley. Connor, about 12 yards behind the goal crease, will work from the end zone, if you will, here at the Apple Bowl. And now a turn, a shot, and another block.
He almost squeezed that one in there, but not quite.
Bull Blake with that big goalie stick. Kind of looks like a fishing net back there.
He's going to have Easton Hudson on in there in a second.
And ball loose, but then picked up. Here's a chance.
Nice
Ian Bush with a pass up front, but it's too high for his teammate.
He was open there. He just missed him by just a little.
Well, you can see where Hermiston has the idea. It's just the follow through, not quite there yet.
Yeah, and they had a win against Chiawana the other day, so it's going to take a little while for these newer teams to kind of get it all together.
Dahlbeck will take a toe dip inside the attack box. We were talking about the time you have to get it inside the box, and so he does that quickly. He'll pass it off to Higley. Ben working with, nice move in front, and a score by Ben Higley. Just completely juked his guy out, and Higley with his second goal of the game.
That was a nice move. I know they're trying to get Ben to drive more, and he was able to take his guy that time and get it past the goalie. Nice goal.
Comes with 7:47 to go here in the third quarter. Higley's second goal of the game.
We got Arredondo back out there, and then Colin Wheeler on the other side.
Sun hides behind a cloud here momentarily. Helps us see the surface here a little easier for our television audience.
Sammy turned his ankle in that game against Southridge, so it's nice to see him out there running around.
Our official Steve Junker blows the whistle, and the face-off won here by Hermiston. I don't know, did he get it in the box? Now they do with the pass anyway to Taylor Arnold, coach's son. Flips it over left side to Palmer, Simpson.
We've got some long sticks handling it up there at midi.
Taylor Arnold with it. Now he'll pass it off to their lead goal scorer, Luke Walshley, and the ball fumbled around out towards midfield. Good hustle by Wenatchee Valley. And those players that are just on the Wenatchee Valley side of the 50 can't go across. They got to stay on their side of the 50. That's why they're reaching out there trying to toe tap their way to it. And Wenatchee Valley comes up with the ball as Easton Hudson gets it for Wenatchee. He'll give it up to Sam Williams. They're going to have to get bodies readjusted here. Tillery behind the nets. Jorgensen comes in. They'll work it far side to Higley. Nice pass, a little bit too high, but there to back up for Wenatchee Valley is Sammy Arredondo. He'll pass it over to Higley. Higley back behind to Tilly.
There's
Connor. Had the cutter there, but didn't pass it to him. Instead, will come out to Jorgensen. Jorgensen pestered way outside by Taylor Arnold, so he'll back it away even further. Spinning around the defense. Got a chance. He'll shoot, and it's wide to the right. And Wenatchee Valley maintains possession. Back there chasing after it was Ben Higley. Ben flips it here out in front of the goal crease to Jorgensen. Look out, Roby with the shot and the score.
He was winding up on that one. It's nice to see these long possessions for Wenatchee, so they're taking better care of the ball. They're not rushing their shots, and they're coming up with some good ones.
6:13, the time of the goal for Roby Jorgensen, and that is his third here today. So give him the hat trick here for Wenatchee Valley. As the Thunder now lead it 9-1, and Jake Strom will do the face-off duties for the Thunder. He'll be across from Ian Bush, the senior for Hermiston. Near side is Alan Butcherite. Far side is Colin Wheeler. Set up here for Wenatchee Valley outside this face-off box. Whistle sounds. Hermiston comes up with it as Ian Bush then lost it as he was tapped from behind by Wenatchee Valley, but then a long stick comes up. Taylor Arnold will work it into the offensive set here as Walshley lost the handle. Now it is Strom that comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley. Nice job, but a high pass, a little bit too high, but Higley comes up with it here in midfield.
They got the open
Ben
man.
Higley
Sam
feeds ahead, and right
Sam.
there is the hits the crossbar and goes skittering out, and Wenatchee Valley going to maintain possession though. Colin Wheeler will chase it down, but there was Sam Williams for a chance at his first goal, and we're going to get a timeout taken by the official as they're going to check on the health of somebody.
Yeah, you got a deep hole down on his knees there, or leaning over, but I didn't see what happened.
Well, there was a play right in front where the goalie got kind of turned around there and was way out as Wenatchee Valley had that opportunity, and then he kind of ran into his own guy, and so I think that's Mark Mejia who is going to have to come out of the game here. And Hermiston, with a light roster, they've got, 4 or 5 scratches here today of people that aren't available.
Well, I know they canceled the JV game because they were out of players. I don't know what they've got going on, if it's a school deal or maybe testing or something, but did they tell you why they had so many guys out?
Nope, they do have one injury. Elias Sandoval he broke his hip in football.
Oh, gee.
And injured it again here last week, and so he's still hampered by that. So they had to get another long stick in order to get the man replaced, and I think that was Colby Murray who came in as the replacement. So Wenatchee Valley still with the possession. Here's Dahlbeck with a chance, shot and a score.
Nice left-handed shot from Mason, and that. Hey, Mason's off to a great start this year.
So Mason Dahlbeck joins the fray of Thunder with multiple goals here today as he gets his second. And Wenatchee Valley, similar to the first quarter, has come out firing here in the third quarter and now lead it 10-1 with 5:20 to go in the quarter.
Well, you can kind of see the attitude, and they just feel like they've got it in going right now. And everybody, I mean, you've got everybody on the field. You got a lot of guys that haven't been playing much this year that are out there right now.
And Sam Williams hoping for another chance.
Yeah.
It probably just looked way too big, that empty goal.
We'll blame it on Ben. The pass just wasn't.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, it's your kids.
Yeah.
You can blame them all you want. Far side, losing the ball up the far side for Wenatchee Valley was Easton Hudson. He was going ahead. The ball kind of left behind.
Oops.
And now a pass a little bit too tall for Higley and goes out of bounds. For Connor Tilley from Higley. And that goes out of bounds. And a rare unforced turnover here for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. Hunter Dodson with it now near 40-yard line.
He better get some help because he's going out of bounds.
And he's going to go flip it around. They're going to say, let's see, what are the officials going to say? He's out of bounds.
Yeah, he looked like he wasn't knowing what to do right there, so just kind of bailed.
Tilley with the ball cradled will run back to the left of the goal, work off a pick there. Pass it out to Ben Higley. Ben shot.
The goalie's going to get there.
And it will go to Hermiston on the shot as the big fella in goal. Bo Blake is chasing after it on the end line. And it will go out to Hermiston with 4:30 left here in this third quarter. Wenatchee Valley in charge, 10-1, where they've been leading this entire game. Ball stolen away here at midfield.
That's Josh Bouchon.
And there's Bouchon getting a chance to play some varsity ball here. Lost the ball, though, behind him. And that long stick looks like it's pretty hard to cradle that.
You know, there's good and bad. It's hard for guys to get the ball up in the air like that. But yeah, I mean, they've got extra reach on it. So there's some advantages and some disadvantages.
Well, and it looks like with that ball so high above your head like that, you're not sure all the time necessarily if you had it. We've seen a few, both sides today, where the long sticks have lost it and didn't know that they lost it at the time. So Wenatchee Valley comes up with it here. Butcherite will force the issue, get inside the box. He's going to go all the way himself, shoots and scores! How about that for Alan Butcherite? The sophomore comes through with a goal, much to the joy of his teammates here in the near sideline.
You know, when those defenders get the ball and they get an opportunity like that, they just want to put it in the net so badly that everybody's just so excited when they do.
So Alan Butcherite put him in the scorebook here for Wenatchee Valley, as it's now 11-1 with 3:55 to go in this third quarter.
Looks like he got a penalty after the play, so 18's going to spend some time in the penalty box.
So Taylor Arnold will spend some time here near sideline in the penalty box. That's our first flag of the game, isn't it?
No,
second flag.
Yeah.
Roby Jorgensen got one earlier.
Cross check, and then
for Wenatchee Valley.
Been other minor infractions, but yeah.
Only a second person in the penalty box here today for either team.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, we had two at a time in the Southridge game.
Yeah. Jorgensen comes up. Nice job by Jake Strom to win that face-off. Jorgensen comes in. Also, Jackson Bowles will come in here in the offensive set. Ben Higley will pass it back to Jorgensen. Roby back to Ben. Right side with it, about the 20-yard line. He'll go back behind the crease here to Tilley. Tilley looking outside for Greg Coldy. Pass a little bit off the mark, but Coldy will track it down here for Wenatchee Valley. Coldy goes left side with it to Bowles, and then to Tilley. Tilley with a shot into close, and it's in for the goal.
Yeah, nice man-up offense there. They didn't rush it, and then Tilley one-on-one with the goalie. I'll take that one. Was that Tilley or Coldy with the goal?
It was Tilley.
Yeah.
Yep. Connor Tilley with the tally. It's 12-1 now with 3:20 to go here in the third. And for Connor Tilley, that's his second goal of the game. So Wenatchee Valley getting a lot of folks involved in the scoring here of this one.
Yeah, that's nice to see, and it's nice to see all these guys getting opportunities in this game.
So Dahlbeck's got 2, Jorgensen's got 3, and now Tilley with 2 for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, and Ben's got 2, and then Allen and Coldy, you already count his 2, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Looked like a push there.
And no whistle coming, no indication by the official that he's going to. And that was a nice move there by Jake Strom. Swiped at the ball. It went off of a Hermiston's foot out of bounds. So it maintains possession there for Wenatchee Valley. It's kind of like a basketball that's heading out of bounds. No, they gave it over to Hermiston.
Okay, so
I thought it
maybe touched it on the end line.
So Wenatchee Valley battling for a loose ball here near midfield. And Ben Higley somehow just snaps it away.
They got a
feeds
Tilley
over
there.
to Tilley. Here's Tilley in close. He'll shoot a little bit too high. and we'll go over the end line, and Wenatchee Valley will maintain possession. Boy, that was a good two-man game back and forth going down the field.
Yeah, and those guys have played together now for 3 years, so they know each other's game so well. Coldy, too. I mean, these guys have been together a long time now.
And I was just going to say here before that possession that you don't see many drop balls or bad passes, especially between Ben and Connor. It just seems that they are always right in track with each other.
They have two of the best hands on the team.
Here's Greg Coldy with a shot as he came out from behind the goal crease. It goes wide and heads out of bounds, but over there closest to the out of bounds on the goal attempt, on the goal shot that is Connor Tilley. So Wenatchee Valley maintains possession. Connor with the ball, being pestered by the long stick there. He'll come out to Strom. Strom gives it up to Arredondo. Off to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck inside to Tilley. Arredondo tried to pick up the loose ball, but Higley gets it. Ben goes behind the net here to Greg Coldy. Nice job of changing direction.
Good idea.
Feed across. Right there on the doorstep was Arredondo, but the pass were a little bit awry, but Arredondo able to chase it down. Nice job by Wenatchee Valley. We've seen a few of those today where they've been, a pass on a assist in front, and here spinning in front, as you will, and now a whistle's going to come as they push the man to the ground. We'll see who they're going to give the ball to. Looks like it's going to go over to Hermiston.
Yeah, I think they got a little crease violation by Gray. He was pushed in the crease, but,
But, yeah, several opportunities where Wenatchee Valley has had maybe a missed pass, but they've been able to scramble after the ball and maintain possession.
Yeah, and you want to see that hustle, but some of it is speed, too.
And now here's a shot and a goal going to be scored from the left side by Luke Walshley for Hermiston, as they just go right down the field, and Walshley worked to his left and is able to stick it in the goal from about 12 yards out.
Sometimes the defense has been standing there watching for a while, and then all of a sudden the play's coming at them, and they don't have, reaction time that they would if they'd been in the action, more regularly. They've been kind of sitting there for a while without much going on at that end of the field.
So that makes it 12-2 with 1:36 to go here in the third quarter. Yeah, kind of like a right fielder in baseball, not getting any balls come his way, and then suddenly he's got three line drives come at him at once. So it's 12-2 now with the goal by Walshley, and for Walshley, that is his fifth goal of the season.
Sam, you got a nice face-off move there.
Lost the ball for a moment, but then collects it back here. Arredondo will feed off to Greg Coldy down behind the goal crease. Coldy will wait for his teammates to assemble. Flip it over on the far side to Tilley. Then back outside it comes to Arredondo.
Let's see if we can get Jack Myers a goal here. Number 80.
Back behind is Tilley. Tilley will work it to the right. Pass right out in front for Greg Coldy, and deadly accurate as Gray from 7 yards out. Another goal for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, it was a great feed, and Gray, man, he just seems to be on it. I don't know how many times he's missed this year, but in that first game, he was 6 out of 7 shots or something like that.
Yeah, just crazy.
That's a great shooting percentage.
So another goal here for Wenatchee Valley, and Gray, that is his third goal of the game, so give him the hat trick, as it's now 13-1. As they get ready for the faceoff with 1:04 to go here in the third quarter. A quick moving contest here today. And again, the faceoff won by Arredondo, and Sammy looked for the shot.
His
ball
stick
kind of stripped from him.
Yeah.
As their goalie comes over with it, Bo Blake, he'll feed it out on the outlet pass to Taylor Arnold. Arnold will go midfield. And now a pass ahead, and somehow coming up with it, despite the traffic, was Landon Clark.
They've got some space there.
A shot taken, a little bit wide right. Nice job by Wenatchee's goalie, Kyle Robertson, to kind of fend that one off, but they maintain possession as it's Calvin Geeson with it down in the corner. He'll feed back outside to Hunter Dodson. Dodson working against the defense of Easton Hudson. And then a pass, and it goes a little bit too high, and kind of a lack of concentration there, and turnover.
Easton's so aggressive on their best player out there. He's doing really well.
So the ball is possessed by Wenatchee Valley, but then turned it over. And right here, a chance for the Hermiston Bulldogs. And then knocked down in front of the goal crease on the attempt was Luke Walshley. I don't see any flags out, and that'll be the horn to sound the end of the third quarter. So we will head to the fourth, take a 60-second break on our broadcast. 12-2, Wenatchee Valley on top of Hermiston. You're watching lacrosse this afternoon on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be right back. Well, the scoreboard at the Apple Bowl hasn't quite caught up to the scoring. We had a score with just over a minute to go from Gray Coley, his third of the game. That makes it 13-2 now. Wenatchee Valley over the top of the Hermiston Bulldogs, as Wenatchee Valley outscored Hermiston 6-1 in the third quarter, as we get ready for our fourth quarter of play here at the Apple Bowl. And all the players getting a chance, and all the players, quite a few players getting a chance at scoring some goals here, Rod.
Yeah,
you got to be happy if you're the coaching staff for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, the coaching staff and some of these kids too. Alan Butcherite getting a defender with a long stick, getting the goal. He's a long stick midi, but that was a good shot by him. And everybody's getting a chance to play. They're putting in the backup goalie Jack Jorgensen's out there now between the pipes. So we'll see how it goes in this fourth quarter.
Well, and you said during the commercial break we didn't give credit to that hit right before we went to the end of the third quarter. That was by the freshman out there.
Yeah, Josh Bouchon made a nice stop on the player, so it was a good defensive play, and it's nice to see the freshman out there getting some quality minutes and making an impact. Still out there now.
So here we go to start the fourth quarter. As our official out at center field here, midfield will get it set up for the faceoff. It'll be Jake Strom again here for Wenatchee Valley. And looks like Tyson Salinas will do the faceoff duties here for Hermiston. As winds continue to blow on this sunny afternoon here in the Wenatchee Valley. And Jake Strom wins. I think he's over 50% on his faceoffs.
Yeah,
it
just seems like he's getting better and better as the day progresses, too.
Without the services of Reiner here today for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. So Arredondo and Strom sharing the face-off duties as Dahlbeck collects it out top. He'll give it up to Jorgensen as Roby will direct traffic here as Wenatchee Valley probably try to do a little slow down work on the clock here and just kind of chew up some time.
Yeah, and you want to see him work the ball around, and when they do take shots, you want to have good quality shots. I think that's probably what the coach is wanting to see here, is them run the offense and run it properly.
So they got Cutters going in front while Dahlbeck brings the ball out here near side on the hash mark. He'll feed it off to Coldy. Gray, we normally see him down even with the goal crease, but he's back out top here.
They've got them all rotating around.
Higley also normally in the around the goal. He's out top. They'll feed down right side to Strom. Jake looking for a cutter will pass it off, and it's picked up here, and there's winding up with the shot. Higley.
I don't think that's his shot, really.
And right-handed shot here from the right side goes a little wide to the left. It'll be out to Wenatchee Valley. As Dahlbeck has it on the far side over in the corner, he'll bring it back out to Coldy. Coldy off to Higley. Van looking left side, has Roby Jorgensen right in front. He'll spin away from the defense. Somehow is able to still cradle that ball despite three bodies on him. Now he'll give it up to Ben. Higley looking left, will pass it high to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck turning, and right in front will turn and score. Mason Dahlbeck.
That's 3 for him today. Plus an assist, at least I gave him an assist early on.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he's having another big day.
That makes it 14-1. We'll see if they catch up on the scoreboard here, or 14-2, I should say, and they do.
They've got it right.
10:22 left here in the fourth quarter. So Mason with the hat trick here today for Wenatchee Valley.
That's a little different offensive look. That they had a lot of motion going on, and and it worked. They got a good shot off, a couple of good shots.
Mm-hmm. So I think Arredondo is going to do the face-off here for Wenatchee Valley. He'll be going up against...
I think that's Strom again out there.
Is it Strom? Okay, I couldn't see if that was a 3 or a 5. It looks like it's Tyson Salinas for Hermiston. Near side for Wenatchee. Again, help me out, Jack Myers, number 80. Okay, I don't have him on my roster for whatever reason. But Wenatchee Valley wins the face-off. A little bump from behind here to Strom. Strom lost the eyesight on the ball. It's still loose, and we're going to get a little push-off call against Wenatchee Valley. So that'll be Hermiston ball. Cradling it is Ryan Arnold. So Arnold will get things going. He's got the clock running on him, so he's got to get it up across the midfield stripe at least. Arnold, coach's son, one of the two coaches' son, a nice job of a whip from behind, and the whole stick came out of his hand. So Wenatchee Valley comes up with the ball.
Sam Williams, but they just turned it back up. Nope, Sam picked it back up.
So he's inside the box. It was a 2-on-4 there, so he'll wisely back it away. Dahlbeck will come up with it now as he'll challenge. Looked like he wanted to wind up and fire. Instead, he'll bring it up to Myers. Myers looks over, sees Roby Jorgensen coming to join the fun here on this offensive set for Wenatchee Valley. Far side to Williams. Sam towards the end line here to Coley. Gray back to Sam, and then outside it comes to Mason Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck goes to Myers. Myers near side to Jorgensen. 9 minutes even left here in the contest. Jorgensen works off a double pick, then shoots, and a little wide to the right. And it looks like Hermiston's got a different goalie out there now, as Joshua Hasty is now in goal here for this fourth quarter here for Hermiston.
Looking from their stats from on Sportability, they have used two goalies most of the season.
And a shot in close tight by Mason Dahlbeck, and the defender came up with it. Higley now gets a loose ball. Now a shot taken. Nice block again by Hasty.
Sam Williams with that shot.
Went down low to block that one away. Hermiston in transition, and the outlet pass fumbled away here near side by Joshua Simpson. And
Cole Hansen
still loose. Cole does come up with it as he's bumped by three bodies, and then he'll feed it back to Wenatchee's new goalie, Jack Jorgensen. Jorgensen's outlet pass came out, and then kind of doing some footwork without the ball was Josh Bouchon. And we get a whistle on the far side, and it looks like it's going to go over to Hermiston.
Yeah, it might have been time on that. So it is 20 seconds to get to midfield, and then 10 more to get it into the box.
Yeah, I don't think they took their sweet time to get the ball. And if it's a loose ball, that's still counting against the team that had the ball in possession last, right?
I believe so. Where's the ball? I don't even see it.
It went back behind the net and went off the end line.
I've gotten 3 different answers on how the hole clears. So I'm just going to try and keep quiet on this one rather than give you bad information again.
It would make sense, I suppose, I guess in basketball. If the team possesses the ball last, loses possession, but the other team doesn't maintain possession, that clock is still on to get it across midcourt. So I assume, all things being equal, Higley had an open chance here, but he passes it off, and will pass it up to Coley. Coley doing a tightrope act along that end line. Almost went over it, and now a high pass, a little bit too high, and that's going to go out of bounds. And a turnover here for Wenatchee Valley. But Ben, he had an easy goal there, but chose not to do it.
I think he was trying to maybe get Sam one, but
And that's okay. You're up 14-2 on the board. You're going to win this game. And this, by the way, is a league game for Wenatchee Valley. We need to keep that in mind as well. As the ball's loose out towards midfield, and Jorgensen kind of stabbing at it a little bit. And who's going to come up? Arredondo comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley. And he'll quickly get a foot in the box, so that waves that timeline off, but then lost it. And then coming up with it for Hermiston is Joshua Simpson.
It's a good defensive play.
Simpson crosses over on the pass, and here's their lead goalie or goal scorer, Waltsley. His shot's a little bit wide left, and it will go out to Hermiston. Back there along the end line was Caden Smith here for the Bulldogs.
Well, we'll see how Wenatchee, now that they've got, Hermiston can set up their offense now. We'll see how they do with Jack Jorgensen in goal.
Caden Smith with the ball will flip it out to your left side to Hunter Dodson. Dodson with the ball cradled in the webbing of his stick will get the defense come out on him and then try to feed an open man inside, as spinning was Waltsley. Waltsley will come outside with it to Landon Clark. Clark between the hash marks at the 35-yard line. Far side will go to Ian Bush. Bush wants to drive. Now looking, Had a man cutting, but a nice job by the defense. Now we're going to get a flag, I think, on Wenatchee Valley here. The ball ricocheted off of the goal. He goes in, scores. And it is a score here for Ian Bush for the Hermiston Bulldogs.
Let's see what the call is. I think it's on Sage Kreider, but I'm not sure.
Let's see what the official says. Oh, they're going to wave it off.
Because of the goal.
Because of the goal, okay.
Yeah.
So 14-3 is the score now, as Hermiston gets its third tally of the contest with 5:12 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Either that or the referees got together, because Sage was saying that he was the one being held and he had his stick. He was holding on to his stick underneath his, guys will do that. They'll grab the defender's stick and it'll look like they're trying to.
Oh, gotcha. Same thing you see in hockey all the time.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. So the face-off here at midfield is picked up by Wenatchee Valley. Ball came out into the webbing of Easton Hudson's stick. So he'll bring it up far or near sideline and give it up to Gray Coldy. Coldy over crosses to Higley. Higley back behind on the left. As a substitution for Wenatchee comes in, Garrison Coldy comes into the contest. And they'll get it back outside to Myers. Myers off to Strom as we're under 5 minutes to go in the contest. Myers off to Higley. Ben looking, heads up. Had a cutter, didn't give it to him. Higley pestered outside by the defense of Taylor Arnold. Will pass it down low on the right to Sam Williams. Sam looking maybe for Gray Coldy. Now he's going to take it himself. Turn, spin, shoot, and right there is the goalkeeper, their backup goalie. Joshua Hasty makes this stop. That's kind of a tough angle from that close in.
Yeah, it is. I think maybe if he just kept going and tried to shoot it left-handed, he may have had a better angle at it for sure, but wanted to take it back right.
The ball skittering up the far sideline. It's going to stay inbounds here, or will it? The whistle sounds. It's Wenatchee Valley ball on the far side, as scooping it up over there will be Garrison Coley for Wenatchee Valley. Coley up the far sideline, tried to over the head, no-look pass, and turned it, well, it's loose anyway, ground ball, and swiped by Strom. He'll swipe it ahead over to Coley, so Wenatchee Valley comes up with it. Now Gray feeds to Myers. Myers lost the handle. It was picked away from him, and now picked up out by Garrison Coley at the 30-yard line.
I bet Jack
Down
shoots this.
In tight, he'll shoot and score. Jack Myers with the goal for Wenatchee Valley.
We don't have him on our roster, but he gets credit for the goal anyway. Yeah, it's good to see Jack Myers. I think in the Juanita game last he played a little bit more offensive midi, and he got a shot off, and he says, finally I got a shot.
Well, he gets a goal this time around for Wenatchee Valley, and a nice feed to him for the opportunity, as Wenatchee Valley now leads it 15-3 with 3:33 to go here in the contest. Winds continue to buffer our microphones here at the Apple Bowl today.
It hasn't been too bad, really.
Sunshine sure does feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I know that our camera crew is certainly happy to have the sunshine here as well, even though I know they're fighting it in their viewfinders right now, as both cameras are kind of getting a lot of glare off of the surface here at the Apple Bowl. Wenatchee Valley wins the face-off as Connor Tilley has it back behind the goal. Work off the pick there from Ben Higley. Now he'll pass it over on the far side, and dropping it uncharacteristically. It was Gray Coldy, and Hermiston comes up with the ball, but then they lost it, then got it back. And with that long stick, we got a flag going to fly here.
Slash, I
think this is going to come against Wenatchee Valley, as they were pestering the man who had the ball in his webbing, Taylor Arnold.
Yeah, you've got a slash on Gray Coldy.
So Gray's going to have to sit in the penalty box for a minute here for Wenatchee Valley, our third penalty of the ball game. As it's 2:58 to go, 15-3, Wenatchee Valley going to play a down a man here. And with the ball near midfield, I believe that's where the ball is right now, trying to help our camera crew find it. It's Ian Bush that has it as he'll approach inside the 35-yard line and then pass it off to Luke Walshley, and then collect it back. Then they'll go down far side and then collect it back outside to Bush.
They've got their main defenders back out there this time, so they're going to work on their man down.
Walshley over to Bush. Then Bush collects it back. Looking for a crease in that defense here by Hermiston. And now the pass across a little bit too high and nearly going off the end line, but the ball's still loose back there. And then Cole Hansen going to just scoot it to himself and then pass it off to his goalie as Jack Jorgensen has it. Jorgensen being pestered out there outside of his crease, and so he'll flip it off to his teammate Sage Kreider, and Sage will try a pass out towards midfield. The ball is kicked there and then picked up by Hermiston on the turnover. Luke Walshley with the ball and then lost the handle of it himself. Cole Hansen trying to get it, and now nice job by Sage Kreider to come up with that loose ball. Sage gets it into midfield, but then from behind has the slash come on the stick. The ball gets loose, and who's going to get it here? The official waved his hand momentarily. It's still not possessed, and then finally Jackson Bowles comes up with it for the Thunder. He'll flip it up and give it off to Easton Hudson. Hudson will go back to Higley. Higley out top for the shot by Bowles, a little bit wide to the left.
That's a good shot, though. Yeah.
Good look there. Connor Tilley will bring it back in play with 1:15 to go. Higley, outside it comes to Garrison Coley. Coley will give it up to Bowles. Bowles over to Arredondo is back in. Sammy going to work for maybe a shot here? No, he'll pass it off to Higley with 57 seconds left. Ben behind the goal crease. Brings it around, and then outside he'll back it up to Coley. Then Coley again off to Bowles. Bowles over to Arredondo. Arredondo down to Tilley. Tilley, as they continue to wind his clock down, crosses over, and that was a dangerous pass, but it's picked up by Higley on the far side with 31 seconds left in the game. So Wenatchee Valley just playing keep away right now here for the final seconds of this one. Sam Williams with it behind the nets. He'll give it up to Higley. Ben, far sideline. It goes over to Coley. Coley back to Bowles with 10 seconds left. Bowles to Connor Tilley.
Looks like they're just going to run it out.
Just going to run it out here as they'll flip it back behind, and that will do it here for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder as they get the victory over Hermiston by a score of 15-3. Good game for Wenatchee Valley here this afternoon as they pick up the victory. We'll come back and wrap it up here after a 2-minute timeout. You've been watching Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. We're back after this 2-minute timeout. Wenatchee Valley wins it 15-3 over Hermiston. Well, the Wenatchee Valley Thunder get the victory today to improve to 2-1 on the season after downing Hermiston today by a final of 15-3. They led it at halftime by a score of 7-1, outscored Hermiston 6-1 in the third, 2-1 in the fourth. Congratulations, 3 goals each today for Gray Coldy, Mason Dahlbeck, and Roby Jorgensen. Couple of goals each for Connor Tilley and Ben Higley today. And I got to think, if you're Coach Brandon Parker, Rod Higley, you're real happy about what you're able to accomplish today. Not only the victory, but to get so many guys in to get quality playing time.
Yeah, no question. Everybody played. The offense looked like they were clicking at times. They worked some plays towards the end of the game. You could tell they were working on things. It's nice to get a league win. 15 points on the board. That's a nice offensive day. And the defense, they looked real strong too. The man down at the end of the game there, they put the guys back in, the starters back in, and they shut them down. So look good.
Yeah, all the way around here for Wenatchee Valley is they, in the second half, just to recap what happened there, kind of very similar to the first quarter where Wenatchee Valley came out firing early and often in that third quarter. Ben Higley with the goal first things to start things off with the 7:47 mark of the third to put Wenatchee Valley up 8-1 at that point. Roby Jorgensen would score his third goal of the game at the 6:13 mark of the third. That gave Wenatchee a 9-1 lead. It would be 10-1 after Mason Dahlbeck got his second goal. at the 5:20 mark. 11-1 after Alan Butcherwright got into the score column here today at the 3:55 mark of the third. Connor Tilley with his second goal at the 3:20 mark, so just 35 seconds later. That made it 12-1 as the landslide continued for Wenatchee Valley. Luke Walshley did get in the score column today, so again, the leading goal scorer for Hermiston did get a tally today. That made it 12-2 with 1:36 to go in the third quarter. So I guess if there's one thing, Rod, you look at, Hermiston got a couple of goals late before the end of quarters, so I guess you don't want to let up when you're looking at that clock.
And you may have seen a little of that. I mean, I know one of those goals, the defense was standing there by themselves for a long time, and then when the play came at them, they didn't react real quickly. But, they also had guys in there that hadn't played much this year, too, so it's a combination of both things.
So it's 13-2 at the end of the third. Wenatchee Valley would score first to start the fourth. Mason Dahlbeck would get the goal at the 10:22 mark. That made it 14-2 at that point. Ian Bush would score with 5:12 left in the fourth quarter to make it a 14-3 contest, and then the final goal of the day came to Jack Myers to make it 15-3 with 3:33 to go. And again, good to get those guys that don't normally get in the scoring column to get a chance at the goal here today.
Yeah, Jack Myers, he's a senior. He's been on the club for a long time. He doesn't get too many opportunities to shoot or score, so I'm sure he's very happy, and I'm sure his dad and grandfather are too. So.
Well, and you could see it just by his body language that I'm going to shoot here. I'm going to take this shot.
I think there was a lot of guys that wanted goals today, but it is nice to see it spread out and see a long stick midi get on the board too, So, it was a good game all the way around.
So Wenatchee Valley improves to make that 2-1 on the season, 2-0 in league play. That's pretty important here in the early going, and they'll next be here at home against Chiawana next Saturday. We'll have that one live on the NCW Life Channel, 1 o'clock game time. If you want to find out more, just do a search online, Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse, and you'll be able to get the whole schedule. Don't forget the Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse, the Icebreaker tournament. Is that what's going on?
Icebreaker down at Walla Walla.
And down at Walla Walla Point Park the rest of the weekend this weekend. And Rod, hopefully you can join us again next Saturday to have some more fun on the broadcast.
Sure, might as well come. I'm going to the games anyway.
All right, sounds good. Well, Rod Higley, thank you very much for your help again today. Also, thanks to our staff here on hand, to Dan Kuntz, our line producer, and cameraman extraordinaire who filled in last minute here today. Dan, he's been sick. We've had our whole crew kind of sick here. I've been kind of touched by it myself, but thanks to Dan for the yeoman's work today. Also, of course, Michael Price up top in the glaring sunshine here in the Apple Bowl today, taking care of things. Michael's going to wrap up, and then he's heading over to the Town Toyota Center tonight for the hockey game to film that one. So thank you to Michael, and thanks to Tucker Wagner back in the studio. Our what did you call him, Dan? He's our now studio manager. The studio manager. Okay, Tucker getting a advance in his standing as far as the station is concerned, but no more money. I don't know exactly how that works, but thanks to Tucker back home, and thanks to everybody for tuning in today, both on TV and on the web stream as well at ncwlife.com. That's going to wrap it up. It's Wenatchee final score over Hermiston today, 15-3. Thanks for watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. We now return to regular programming on your source for local sports, the NCW Life Channel.